This is Fitness Blender's Abs and Cardio Blend. For this routine, we have 8 exercises that we're going to be doing for 40 seconds each, and we're going to be doing a short bout of cardio between each exercise. We're going to go through this whole thing 2 times. Let's go ahead and get started with our first round. We're going to start them off with burpees. We're just going to be doing 10 repetitions of these, but you want to try to make them really count. You want that heart rate up really nice and high. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. From a standing position, drop those hands down to the floor really nice and quick, kicking those feet straight out back behind you into a full push-up position. Then immediately pull those feet right back up to those hands, stand up and jump for the hardest version, then jump right back down, starting that motion again. Just keep that motion as quick as you can, as powerful as you can, jumping up the top. And go ahead and let it relax. So your last one, let's move on to the first ab exercise. We're just doing traditional crunches. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Nice and slow, crunch those shoulders up towards those hips. At the same time, feel like you're actually lifting those hips up off the ground just a little bit. You want to actually hinge on your lower back and not up on your hip socket. So you want more of that motion coming from that lower back than anywhere else in your body. Everything should be centered around that lower back area, right around that belly button. Now make sure as you do this motion, as you get that tight squeeze as you come up every single time, you don't pull on your head. You want those hands back behind there for just a little bit of support, but you want those elbows outside of your field of vision, and you don't want to actually be pulling on your head. You just want those fingertips barely touching the back of your head. So have one more repetition, and let it relax. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Going back to those burpees, another 10 repetitions. Go ahead and get ready. And begin, starting those 10 repetitions again, making sure they're nice and quick. Almost done, just one more repetition. And let it relax. All right, let's move on to the next one. The oblique crunches with leg raises. We're going to be laying on the left side, but working that right side. Go ahead and get ready. And begin, laying out on that left side. Nice straight line through your body. Your left hand is going to be forward in front of your body just a little bit, about a 45-degree angle off of your chest. Then nice and slow, lift those legs. You crunch that shoulder down into those hips as tight as you can. You want to feel it primarily on that oblique on the top side from the crest of your hip to the base of that rib cage. Just make sure you're getting as much range of motion out of as you can. Try to control that tipping back and forth by leaning forward onto that left hand just a little bit. Just about 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, let's move on to the burpees again. Our next round of these, remember 10 repetitions, just move them as quick as you can. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Start those burpees up. Try to get from those feet to those hands as quickly as possible. Almost done. So your last repetition right here, down to the ground, and jump, and let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one, the oblique crunches with the leg raise, this time on your left side. So we're going to be laying on your right side using that left oblique. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Again, nice straight line through your body, leaning forward onto that right hand this time. That hand is out at about a 45-degree angle off that chest. Then nice and slow, lift those legs and those shoulders up off the ground as high as you possibly can. Get a nice tight squeeze on that left side, that left oblique from the base of that rib cage to the crest of that hip. You're going to feel it a little bit in your outside thigh as well as your shoulder, just a tiny bit from doing this motion, but primarily everything's going to be just in that oblique. Almost done, just about 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, let's move on to the next one. Back to those burpees again. You're going to be getting that heart rate back up. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Almost done. Just one more repetition. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one. It's the reverse crunch with leg lifts. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. With a nice straight leg, you have those feet just a bit off the ground, contracting those abs really nice and tight, keeping that lower back flat against that mat. Slowly lift those legs directly up above those hips, pause, and then lift those hips up off the ground using those lower abdominal muscles. Now you're going to feel this all the way through those abs from the very top all the way down through the bottom, as well as the front of that hip joint and also the top of that thigh. Just try to keep that leg as straight as you can the entire time. Keep those legs moving as smoothly as possible. Make sure you don't kick or swing those legs, and make sure that lower back stays flat against that mat the entire time until you lift those hips off the ground. It's your last one right there. And let it relax. All right, let's go ahead and move back to those burpees again, another 10 repetitions. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Remember, the main thing you want to focus on this one is making those repetitions quick. Really try to get that heart rate up. Almost done. Just one more repetition. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one, the Superman back bows. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Those feet spread just a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, those toes pointing out to the sides. Contract through those glutes and that lower back, lifting those legs up off the ground. Then nice and slow, lift that chest up off the ground with those hands fully extended. At the top of that range of motion, pause. Draw those elbows back to your sides. Slowly shove those hands back forward, straight up from those shoulders. Then nice and slow, drop it back down, keeping just a little bit of a hover underneath those hands. Don't completely touch the ground, and then right back up again. Just keep that motion going over and over again. Nice, slow, fluid motion with a tight squeeze at the top every single time. Really working on that upper back and lower back at the same time. Just a few seconds left, and let it relax. All right, let's go ahead and move back to those burpees. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Almost done. Just one more. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one, the knee tuck crunches. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Balancing on that tailbone with those hands just behind those hips for a little bit of extra balance and support. You're going to extend those legs straight out from those hips at the same time as leaning back, getting that back as perfectly flat as you can. Then slowly crunching back in, pulling those knees really tight, as well as crunching those shoulders forward into those knees and those hips. So you're trying to get a nice round and crunch through those abdominal muscles and those hip flexors every single time you pull those knees in. And then stretch it out as you extend those legs and lay that chest back, trying to get as straight as you can. Almost done. 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, moving back to those burpees. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Make that motion nice and quick. Get that heart rate up as fast as you can. Almost done. Just one more repetition. and let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one, the crisscross crunches. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. In a nice controlled motion, bring that left knee in nice and close as that right elbow comes across, trying to touch that elbow to knee. Just make sure you're alternating back and forth. Get a nice tight squeeze every single time, trying to rotate those shoulders as much as possible every single time, and getting a tight squeeze on those abdominal muscles, getting those shoulder blades up off the ground as high as you can. Just about 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, moving back to those nasty burpees. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Keep that motion nice and quick. Almost done. One more repetition. And let it relax. All right, move on to the next one, the reclined oblique crunch. We're doing this to the left. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Lifting those legs up both at the same time as you crunch that left arm across, out across to the right side of your body, the right side of that leg. And then nice and slow back down, touching those elbows to the ground, dropping those legs but don't completely touch, and then coming right back up again. Just keep alternating over and over again on that same side. Now, if this version of the exercise is a little bit too hard for you, those abs have had a little too much, then keep that left leg on the ground, and every time you reach across that left arm, only your right leg comes up. If that's still too hard, just leave both legs on the ground and just get a really nice rotation and crunch through those abdominal muscles. Almost done. Just one more repetition, and let it relax. All right, let's go ahead and move back to those burpees. This is your last 10 repetitions of these, so make sure they count. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Make sure you're getting down to that push-up position and back up to those feet as quickly as you possibly can. Almost done. And use your last repetition right here. And let it relax. All right, moving on to reclined oblique crunch on the right side. This is the last one for this round. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Now, just like we did on the other side, you're going to slowly lift those legs up as high as you can, as high as is comfortable, crunching forward with those shoulders, reaching across with your right arm this time to the outside of your left leg. Then nice and slow, drop back onto both those elbows as you drop those legs down. Keep a little bit of a hover underneath them, then crunch it right back up again. Almost done, just about 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, we've got 1 minute of active rest. Don't stop moving, go ahead and stand up. Just shuffle those feet around if you need to. Doing some jumping jacks or some running in place. Just make sure you don't stop moving. And go ahead and let it relax. We've got round number 2 coming up. We're going to be doing the same exercises, this time with jumping jacks in between. So go ahead and get ready for your first round of 20 repetitions. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. So nice quick jumping jack. Those arms come up, those legs come out, and then bring those arms back down nice and quick as those legs snap back together. Just keep hopping back and forth. You want to spend just a split second on each position before you're moving back to the next one. Almost done, just 2 more. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the first one again, the crunches. This is a traditional crunch. Go ahead and lay out flat on your back. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Remember, crunching forward nice and tight, at the same time feeling like you're lifting those hips up off the ground, getting a nice tight squeeze of those lower and upper abdominals, all that motion coming from that lower back, hinging on that lower back, making sure that you're not hinging up on those hips. You don't want to actually come up onto that tailbone. It's all on your lower back. Make sure you keep those elbows back outside of your field of vision. You want to have those hands just barely touching the back of that head, but not actually pulling that head forward. Almost done, just about 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, let's go ahead and move back to those jumping jacks, 20 repetitions. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Nice quick motion. Remember, bring those hands up over your head, those legs come out, and snapping everything right back down. Really quick motion, moving back and forth. Just a couple repetitions left, and let it relax. All right, our next exercise is the oblique crunch with leg raise. We're going to start on your right side, laying on your left side. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Laying out on that left side with that left hand kicked off in front of you, about a 45-degree angle. Leaning forward on that hand for a little bit of support and balance. Lift those legs and those shoulders as high up off the ground as you can. Get a really nice squeeze on that right side, on that right oblique. You should feel it from the base of that rib cage that crests that hip every single time you lift those legs and those shoulders. Just about 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, go ahead and move on to those jumping jacks again. 20 repetitions. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. All right, just a couple more repetitions. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the other side, the oblique crunches with leg raise on the left side. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Laying out on that right side, slowly squeezing with that left side, that left oblique, lifting those legs and that shoulder up off the ground as high as you possibly can. Remember, trying to keep a nice straight line to that body the entire time, leaning onto that right hand for a little bit of support, a little bit of balance. Just about 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, moving on to those jumping jacks again. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Just a couple repetitions left. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the reverse crunch with leg lifts. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. It's nice and slow. You're going to bring those legs up off the ground, keeping them as straight as you can. Pause right above those hips. Then lift those hips up off the ground as high as you can, using those abdominal muscles to peel that lower back and those hips up off the ground. Nice and slow, lower back down as you let those legs drop. Keep a little bit of a gap underneath those legs before starting the motion again. About 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, moving on to those jumping jacks again, 20 repetitions. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Almost done, couple more repetitions. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one, the Superman back bows. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Those legs kicked out just a little bit wider than shoulder width, toes pointing off to the sides. Squeeze those hamstrings and glutes, lifting those legs just a little bit off the ground. Arch that back up with those hands fully extended above your head. Then nice and slow, draw those elbows down to your sides. Extend those arms right back out over your head, and then slowly drop it back down. Get a nice tight squeeze in that lower back every time you lift. You should feel it across those shoulder blades as well every time you move those arms. Almost done, 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, moving back to those jumping jacks, 20 repetitions. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Almost done, 2 repetitions left. And let it relax. All right, moving on to those knee tuck crunches. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Kicking those legs straight out as you lean that chest back, keeping that back as flat as you can. Then round that back, crunching forward as you tuck those knees in. Get a nice tight squeeze on those abs and those hip flexors. Then slowly let it relax back out. Full extension on those legs. Should feel it in those quadriceps as you extend those legs back out. Then nice and slow, pull it back in as you crunch. Got 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, moving back to those jumping jacks. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Almost done, 2 more. And let it relax. All right, moving on to those crisscross crunches next. Get ready. And begin. Nice slow squeeze, crunching across your body, that opposite knee to opposite elbow, every single time alternating, making sure you're trying to get those shoulder blades up off the ground as high as you can each time. And to make it as hard as possible, don't let that knee come in past that hip joint. Almost done, 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, moving on to those jumping jacks again. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. And just 2 more. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one, the reclined oblique crunch. We're starting with that left arm first. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Lifting both those legs up nice and high, keeping those legs as straight as you can. Pulling that left arm across to the outside of that right leg, getting a nice tight squeeze. Crunching forward with those abdominal muscles as well as rotating those shoulders using those obliques. Then slowly rock it back down, putting that elbow back on the ground and dropping those legs. Almost done, 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, back to those jumping jacks. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. This is your last round, so really make it count. Almost done, couple more. And let it relax. All right, moving on to that last exercise, the reclined oblique crunch with that right hand. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Nice and slow, lifting those legs, twisting that shoulder across, extending that right hand out to the outside of that left leg, then slowly dropping back down onto that elbow. Make sure every time you come up, you get a nice tight squeeze, nice tight crunch of those abdominal muscles, as well as using those obliques to rotate those shoulders as far as you can, and using those hip flexors to raise those legs. Just 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, good job. You just finished Fitness Blender's Core and Cardio Blend.